guys, welcome to my channel. This is your girl Nurse Momo. So today is actually a very good day. Yeah, it's a good news. I have a lot of people actually coming to my DM complaining about the recent red list countries, which has made it very difficult for overseas nurses to actually secure a job in Ireland and some other countries. I've had lots of suggestions from subscribers telling me to actually host someone there who actually came to Ireland through the education pathway. Today, I have the right person for the job. Hi, Seidu. Can you introduce yourself to my viewers?
Okay, my name is Seidu Mumuni. I would say a nurse from Ghana, and I'm currently studying in the University of Limerick, Ireland. So I'm currently in the Limerick County as we're having this interview. Yeah.
Okay, Seidu, I want to know why you decided to come into Ireland to study nursing
And
specifically.
well, I would say, you know how the system is back home. The
Yeah,
moment you complete school, you need to follow the bureaucracy and the ladder to continue education. So
yeah,
with that, I was just home and then I just thought of progressing my education and looking at working in the north and how to wait for some years. I started exploring. So I think, and secondly, too, I also had some colleagues who had already traveled and they started calling
okay,
me back home to motivate me that actually, if you are a little bit good, I wouldn't say brilliant, but if you're a little bit
yeah,
good, you can cope with the studies here and things can go. So I was actually looking at Australia, Canada, and Ireland. So
okay.
I finally settled on Ireland, and the reason was because of their fees. And I looked at the chances that was here. That's one of the reasons why I chose Ireland.
Okay, we're actually going to go into some of the benefits in studying in Ireland. But before we go into that, can you take me through the process as a nurse back home and the person is looking at coming to Ireland to study nursing? What is the process involved?
With regards to Ireland, let me narrow it down to where I'm studying now, University of
Okay,
Limerick to be precise.
yeah,
They have the course for international students for the
okay,
BSc Nursing Studies for international students.
yeah,
So if you look at their requirement, one of their key fundamental documents you should have is you should be a registered nurse in your home country. So
okay,
I must be a registered nurse in Ghana before I
yeah,
can even apply for this program. After that,
yeah,
you must have a diploma or a degree certificate,
okay.
which will show that you've attained the qualification to practice in your home country before you can apply for this course in Limerick.
Okay. So would you say that was a bit easy for you to choose Limerick than other universities in Ireland?
Looking at the reason, one of the reasons why I focused my attention on Limerick is, University of Limerick is a research-based school. And
Okay.
in the whole world, I think it's a few schools which are precisely research-based schools. They
Okay.
all follow the normal curriculum, like you write, you study, you write the exams, you pass, and you progress. But with University of Limerick, it's called UL. It's always they always want to make sure that you add evidence based to, you do a lot of research to get
Okay.
more information, which is evidence to back the answers you are giving them. So UL is a research-based school. So I realized that coming back from home with my little, I had interest in research as well. So I
Okay.
wanted to develop my skills in research, and that is why I chose University of Limerick. Yeah.
Okay. So how can you just take us through the process how you finally got admission into the university?
Okay, applying with the school is quite easy. I always tell
Okay.
people it's quite easy. Most people follow the agencies, but if you do it yourself, it's really easy. When you go
Okay.
onto the school website, they have a column for international students.
Yeah.
So, and if you go, as we all know, all schools have departments.
Yeah.
So, nursing falls under education and health science.
Okay.
So, when you go there, you see that there are so many various courses. In UL, they offer general nursing, they offer midwifery, they offer psychiatry, and they offer intellectual disability. So, and I would say this intellectual disability, it go hand in hand with psychiatry. So you can
Yeah.
either become a psychiatric nurse or intellectual disability nurse.
Yes.
And currently, what they've only opened the doors for is general nursing for international students. And
Okay.
before you apply, one must make sure that he has no criminal record back home.
Yeah.
As I said earlier, you must possess a license fee to practice. You must
Yeah.
have your either diploma or degree certificate.
Yeah.
So if you want to apply with the school, The moment you go to their portal, it's a straightforward direction. They will
Okay.
ask you to pay a registration fee, but that registration fee, you wouldn't pay it earlier on. It's now 45 euros. So
Okay.
after registration, yeah, they will ask you to pay a 45 euros of registration fee. After you finish
Yeah.
with that, the school and they check your documentations to see that if you qualify for the course, because it goes through a vetting process and they select the number of students they want to admit for that particular year.
Okay.
It's not that difficult. I always say that if only you have the basics, there's a 95% of you getting the admission. So after
Okay.
you've been picked, the school will send you an admission letter. And in the
Okay.
admission letter, with the UL, they have the standard of you paying a 600 euro as a commitment fee. And that
Okay.
commitment fee, it's already part of your school fees.
Oh, then
You
that's
are,
not much.
yes, even with the 45 euros, it's also part of your school fees. Like they are asking
Okay.
you to pay something from your school fees, and then
To
you
show
pay
commitment.
600. Yes, and the 600 euros is for you, for them to be assured that, oh, this person want to
Yeah.
come to the school, and
Yeah.
it's non-refundable. You
Okay.
understand? Yes. So
Mm-hmm.
after you've applied, the school will now, depending on the fees for the year, they are
Yeah.
about reviewing the fees. So I don't want to give out a figure. Yeah.
Okay.
But if
How
you
much
check
did you pay?
during my time, I paid 8,000 euros. And at that
Okay.
time, in Ghana cedis, when you convert it, it was around 40,000 Ghana cedis for the
Okay.
fees. Yeah. And then when you apply, and then you are not supposed to even pay the full fees. At
Okay.
least if you're able to pay half of the fees, they will send you a visa support letter. And that is where you
Okay.
start your visa process. So, and
Application.
yeah, mostly the school reopens. I think applications are open from February until, I would say, September, that school starts. But mostly
Okay.
because of visa issues, they will tell you that by June. And with UL, the moment you meet the accreditation, or the moment you meet their standard, quickly they send you your student support.
Okay.
Yes, they will send you the
Letter
admission.
for you.
Yeah, and then if you're able to pay part, if you're able to pay half of the fees, they will send you your visa support letter. After that,
Okay.
you are supposed to now apply for the school. And Nigerians, they are lucky the embassy is in their country. But in
Yeah.
Ghana, we have to apply to the VFS office.
FS.
Yes,
Okay.
as we all know. So you now look at their criteria for the visa processing. The visa processing is
Yeah.
is a whole thing on its own.
On it one.
So yeah, as a student, it's just simple. They will ask you the normal visa question, because in Ireland you don't go for face-to-face interview. It's your
Interview.
documentations that will show how credible you are. And this is
Okay.
where most people make a lot of mistakes,
Okay.
because they think since they are not going for the visa, they can just pile up any document for them. No,
Yeah.
the embassies will also want to make sure that you send your certificate, your PIN. They also want to make sure that it's true you have your PIN.
Experience. Yeah.
One of the most important documents you need is your visa support letter from
Okay.
the school, to show that the school has given you admissions and
Yeah.
you've also paid part of the fees. Now,
Okay.
this is where a lot of people fail for getting their visa. And I will
Okay.
stress on this because the Ireland focuses on your bank accounts.
Okay.
As we all know, in every school, when you are applying, the country don't want you to become a burden to them. So they always
Yeah.
focus on your bank account.
Bank account.
When I was applying, the minimum amount one should get was 3,000 euros.
Okay.
Yes. So now I'm hearing it's around 7,000 euros because of
Okay.
the cost of living. You understand? But with the
Yes.
7,000 euros, one good thing about Ireland is you don't need to create any account, although it's an option that you can create an account in the country and the money will be transferred into it to make sure that the money is secured. But fortunately for us, if only you can prove from your own bank account
Account.
that you have the required funds after paying your
Yeah.
fees, you have no problem. There is this thing that we have a lot of people who also go to scholarships and sponsorships.
Yes.
The scholarships is easy because maybe it's from the government of Ghana, it's from an NGO or anything. If they're able
Okay.
to give you a letter and their bank accounts for them to know that it's credible, you are safe. But I'm speaking with regards to sponsorship.
Yeah.
Sponsorship, they just don't want to get a letter just stating that, oh, I'm Mr. Kwame sponsoring Seidu.
Yes.
No. The person must add his or her own bank statement. You, because you are already working, they want to see your bank statement,
Bank
they want to see
statement.
your pay slip,
Yeah.
and they will also want you to write a personal statement form. Why you think when you come to the country you would return back to Ghana? So
Okay.
this thing is just, if you just Google it, you get so many samples, and then you can relate
Okay.
one to your own situation and you write. So I will come back and stress on the bank statement, because one thing I've realized with Ireland is, visa is lack. Most
Yeah.
people have gone for loans, especially Ghanaian nurses. We like going for loans.
Yes.
We go for loans and we've not finished paying, servicing our debt. So do you
Yeah.
look at those things?
Yeah.
So if you have a visa, so I always tell people that if only you want your things to be genuine, this
Yeah.
is what I did. I have my accounts. I created my accounts.
Yeah.
And with the account, I was able to get enough funds. And it's from the same account I paid my fees.
Okay.
So already the fees has been deducted in the account. If they are
So they
checking
can
and
they
they
can
still have
see
the required amount there, you understand?
there.
Mostly, I always encourage those who call me that if only you have the plan of traveling, if you know you have some discrepancies in your old bank account, I would advise get a new bank account. Because Ireland, one of the rules is it should be the bank account should be working for 6 months.
Okay.
Yes.
We
So
should
if
plan
it
towards it.
exactly, and if you think your father or your brother too has a good bank account, this is where you need to prove it. Your sponsor, if
Yeah.
he has a company which is registered, you need those documents to support yourself,
Yeah.
because you are
Yeah.
not there to explain things to them.
Then.
There are some people, I have somebody I helped in applying, and the person didn't provide enough evidence. But fortunately they did not reject the
Wow.
document. They called him back that he said the sister is in Canada and they are sponsoring him. They just want a bank statement from the sister from Canada to show
Yes.
that. You see, so
Yeah.
we just called the sister and we had it. So I would say
That's
this is the mainly the few steps that you will have to follow. And believe it or not, before you apply the visa, they will tell you that it's 8 weeks. And if you really
okay.
have a genuine document, it will just take you 2 weeks. Because my visa came in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know people
That's
who visa came in 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
yeah.
It doesn't
Yeah.
go to that length, because if they see that there are some discrepancies, that is where they start probing more, and your
Yeah.
visa start. So
Okay.
that
I also OET. Are you required to provide one before you submit your visa? Is there a requirement?
yes, fortunately, although Ireland recognizes Ghana as an English-speaking country, they
Yeah.
will still need you to write the IELTS. And this one, you
Okay.
don't need to get the 7.0. This one,
Yeah.
if you are from Ghana, Ghana is 4.5.
Okay.
So you just registering to going to sit down for the exams even gives you the mark. And secondly,
Okay.
too, I know some people who did not write the IELTS. They took English proficiency letter from their schools.
Okay.
Yes, they did not write the IELTS and they attached it to it. So
Okay.
somebody, the embassy wrote to him back that he should still go and write the IELTS and present it, even though he has provided
Oh,
his English proficiency. Others too, it was not required. They just gave him the visa. So that is the only criteria for the English proficiency. You just need a pass mark of 4.5. That's all.
okay. So currently you are offering your PhD. I know that you actually did your degree in Ireland and also your master's. How long can you give us the duration for the degree, master's, and then for PhD?
Yeah. Funnily for us, because we already have our basics. So you did
Yeah.
a 3-year diploma course in Ghana. So when you come to Ireland, the degree course is just 1 year. I wouldn't even say it's 1 year. It starts from September to June. By that time, you will present your thesis. So it's because I said it's a research-based school, so you
Yeah.
conduct some thesis depending on the rank. So if you also have a degree and you're applying for the masters, it's also 1 year. So as I will use myself as an example, I was having diploma. I came to Ireland and then I did my 1 year degree, and then
Yeah.
the same following year in that September, I applied for the masters, and
Yeah.
then the next following year when I finished my masters, I'm doing a PhD. The PhD in nursing
Yes.
is two different forms. We have the structured PhD and we have the traditional PhD. The
Okay.
structured PhD is 4 years. That is what I'm offering. I'm doing now, and then the
Okay.
traditional one is 3 years.
Okay. Okay. So how were you? I know that you're actually on scholarship right now. I want to like, can you take us through the process how you actually landed a scholarship?
Yeah. And with the BS, when you are applying from home, they will always tell you, depending on the fees, they will tell you that with masters or BSc, they will give you a scholarship of 3,000 to deduct from you, yeah, from the actual fees, and then you pay the rest.
Is that for your degree?
Yeah, for the degree, I was given a scholarship of 3,000, and that is where I paid the 8,000. So I would say at that time the fees was around 11,000, but now
Okay.
I'm thinking the fees will be around 14,000. So it will just you pay around 11,000.
Okay.
Now from the degree to the masters, from the masters to because I did the BSc in the school, automatically I had a second class upper, which
Okay.
qualifies me to get the
Scholarship.
fees. Yeah,
Okay.
so I was waived. The fees was around, I remember, if I could remember, it was around 12,000 euros for
Okay.
a master's program then. But
Mm.
I paid only 4,000
Wow.
for the master. Yeah, I had about 70% scholarship from there.
Okay.
So with that too, you can apply for that and then you get. And
Yeah.
when it comes to the PhD, the scholarships comes in so many forms. I
Yeah.
know you've already heard of the Irish Research Council scholarship. Is there?
Yeah.
You can apply through that and you get it, and then you will not, and then you get your scholarship. And there is this thing to here we call in my school UL we have the EHS scholarship. The EHS
Okay.
scholarship is the health science scholarship, and then if you apply for that, they can give you a waiver of 6,000. 6,000. I think if you are paying even 20,000, you take a waiver of 10,000. They will take half of the fees, and then you pay half of the fees. And
That's
then
good.
one other thing is to if you are in Ireland, you've stayed in Ireland for 3 years
Yeah.
and above, you qualify for an EU fees. Automatically, you pay the fees as an EU student.
EU
So
students. Okay.
yes, so I had the EU scholarship, which is the
Yeah.
6,000, and then I applied for my EHS too, and I had the 6,000.
That is very good.
Yeah, I know of a sister too who had the two, and then she still applied for the Irish Research Council, and then they are paying her back all her fees she has paid, and then she's on the Irish Research Council scholarship. So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. Are you given hours to work whilst you are studying as well to be able
yeah.
to make up for the leaving?
Yes, as a student, you are allowed to work for 20 hours, and as you know, with nurses, our getting work is easy. You
Yes.
understand? So one thing that I'm not from a rich family. When I came and I was working I was studying as a student, I was working my 20 hours as a healthcare assistant. You can
Okay.
go for the home care, you can go for the community care, you can go for the acute setting care.
Okay.
And believe in me, you can acquire the needed funds to even pay for the money you paid for your fees back home and even save
Wow.
some even to also support the family. So it's actually good. And when we are on vacation, you are able to work like 40 hours. So and even that you can even work more than the 40 hours
More than the 14.
because it's vacation. The rule
Yeah.
is they want you to study. That is why they said work for the 20 hours. Yeah.
Okay. Would you say that you've been able to adjust well to the cultural difference?
Actually, it was a huge cultural shock. You know, yeah, the Irish like saying sorry without they offend you. I know it's also part of our culture, but
Yeah.
their sorry is insane. You understand? And there are so many things food wise, you will find a little bit of difficulty because if you start going out with them, you have your own challenge. And then
Yeah.
culture is you as nurses, we always adapt. You understand?
Yeah.
As somebody say the word improvise. We are always improvise.
Improvise.
So
Yes.
you can adapt, you can improvise a whole lot of things and you get used to the
Yeah.
culture. The culture is really nice. The Irish are welcoming, they are very nice people. And then no matter what, wherever you go, you get people who are a bit racist. But I'm telling you that the good ones outweighs the bad ones.
The bad
Yeah.
ones.
So I would
Okay.
say the culture is also nice too for you to
Okay.
also.
So, during your transition, what were the major challenges that you faced?
When it comes to academics, the Ghana is chew and poor. You
Yeah.
understand? But in UL, it's understanding what you are presenting because, as I said, it's a research-based school.
Yeah.
If you are writing something I remember they asked us something about comparing the code of conduct between Ghana and Ireland. And now, after comparing, they want you to provide evidences and the reason why you think Ghana is saying this and Ireland is saying
Yeah.
this. You understand? And
Yeah.
it's really good because it really broadens your knowledge.
Yeah.
Everything you must provide, as we said, you must provide rationale, and your
Yeah.
rationale must be backed by evidence. So I would say, one, there is this thing called academic writing. That is where you provide. If you write IELTS, you understand that it's in relation to what they are saying. So
Yeah.
just trying to understand the system was a bit difficult. I know most of my colleagues who had come from home to were having a bit challenge there. But the moment you get used to it, it's easy to go. You understand?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, if assuming that you are married, are you able to bring your family over whilst you are studying in Ireland, or you are
It's
required to complete
only
your education?
Yes, it's only for the PhD students who are allowed to bring their spouses here. But
Okay.
if you are, here we don't do the dependent like the UK does the dependent. It's only for the
Yeah.
PhD students. So if you
Okay.
are doing a degree and masters, the Irish government does not allow you to bring your spouses. But the
Your
moment you are doing a
spouse.
PhD, it qualifies you to bring your spouses to the country. Yeah.
Okay. So, when you are done with your training, how then do you register into the Irish system? The nursing system. How do you register with the Nurse and Midwifery Board of Ireland? Do you get
Yeah.
straight transition into that, or you have to? It's a whole process.
It's a whole process on its own. The school is different from the board. So
Okay.
the school is giving you the certificate and the recognition, but the you getting the license to practice solely relies on the NMBI. It's like Ghana. You can go to the university and complete. If you don't write NMC licensure, you can't practice. So
Okay.
that is where you also need to write your IELTS. It's like you will register as the same as an overseas nurse. It's now
Okay.
that the NM, even yesterday we had a discussion, it came up. They've introduced the NMB have now introduced something called a graduate program course. Now the
Wow.
schools are now drawing out their models.
Okay.
Even I was there when they called us to also come and give an input to whatever they are doing. Because after
Yeah.
you finish with their course, you do a 1 year adaptation, and then you'll be
Okay.
given a license. But currently, you have to write your IELTS to get your 7 band 7 or 7 in 3 and 6.5, and then you
Fine.
apply with the NMBI. They will give you a decision letter, and then you choose to either write the RCSI or do that adaptation course, and then you get your pin to practice. But one good thing is, because currently there is this red list issues. If you are in the country, the red list doesn't affect you.
Affect
Yeah,
you. Yes.
yeah, it's easy for you.
Yeah.
The moment, if you are even in school, I know in around 5th October, they
Okay.
always organize a career day. You see a lot of hospitals coming in to recruit student nurses.
Recruit student
So
nurses.
if you're able to mitigate yourself and then get your things in the haste,
Yeah.
you can even register before even completing school to get you'll be working
Okay.
while still schooling. Like that is how it is.
Okay. Okay. So when you
Yeah.
finally register with the Net Midwifery Board of Ireland, okay, and then you have your PIN, you've completed your adaptation or your ICSI, you've had your PIN. As your employer going to consider your years of experience from back home.
Yes, they
Okay.
have to because even whilst as nurses, if you are working in the country, maybe you work for 2 years, they encourage you to go back to school. So it's the
Okay.
same thing. But one thing I've realized is even if you are working as a carer, they still recognize that because they know you are still in the field, but you are
Okay.
not practicing as a nurse. You
That
understand?
makes
It's different
yeah.
from somebody who will come and will not work at all. They find it difficult, like you are getting detached from the work. You
Okay.
understand? But if you are on the field, no matter you are exposed to the daily nursing practices and the
Yeah.
patient care practices before
Oh,
you come to the actual core practice of a nurse. That is the medications and the
yeah.
admissions and those. So they
Yes.
still recognize your years of experience as a nurse. Yeah.
Okay. I know that you mentioned earlier that University of Limerick is actually open to only international nurses offering general nursing. We have other universities that are also considering international nurses for midwifery, psychiatry, and intellectual disability courses as
Yeah.
well.
As I said, it's the model is coined for you to do a BSc or a master's in general nursing. So
Okay.
in my class, I was having psychiatric nurses, I was having midwives, I was
Okay.
having general nurses, I was having intellectual disability nurses in the same class when I was doing my BSc. on and in my MSc too, we have different branches of nurses. Once they always say that here they have this qualification of a nurse midwife qualification. They are all there. So there are
Yes.
some
Yes.
midwives who wants to become a nurse midwife, and
Okay.
the way the practices are in Europe and US and other things, if you are a psychiatric nurse, your responsibility, you will just be practicing only psychiatry. You understand?
Yeah.
If you are a
Yeah.
midwife, you just be only a midwife. But so if you want to be recognized as a general nurse, so you see
Yeah.
that if you see some qualifications, you see that they will write RN, RM. They want to give you all the titles for the person to know that you are a registered nurse, you're a registered midwife, you're a psychiatrist, or you are
Okay.
intellectual disability there. So currently, University of Tralee, I know they are offering the same course, but it's the same thing. You just start with the general nurse, and I'm hearing they are trying to draw out models for the others, but it's still not in
Okay.
existence yet. So it's Dublin University of UCC is
Yeah.
doing that. University of Galway, Tralee is also doing that.
Okay.
Cork University is also doing that, and
Also
University of
doing
Limerick.
that.
Yeah, so out of all these schools, it's only UL, which is a research-based school.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So when it comes to accommodation, these universities, are they willing to help their students, like overseas students coming into Ireland with accommodation, or you have to like secure your own accommodation?
As admissions are given, there's all the schools, UL in particular, it has accommodations. But
Okay.
if you are not in the hurry to book, the accommodation will get finished.
Okay.
Currently Ireland, we are experiencing housing crisis. So I think the people are more than the houses in the country. So
Yeah.
like they give the students the chance to book an accommodation. So if you have, that
Yeah.
is why you see that 7,000 euros that the immigration wants. It's
Yeah.
that money they are talking about accommodation, feeding, clothing, books. That is why they said you should have that money in your accounts just
Yeah.
in case when you come, you wouldn't fall on somebody or you wouldn't find wanting. You understand?
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
already you have that money, so some people are when they are applying, if they have the funds, they will book for the accommodation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they will even add that document when they are
Right.
presenting it to the immigration office that they've already booked the accommodation, they've paid for it, and this is
Accommodation.
the balance of the money they have with them.
Wow.
So it's all part of the accommodation issues. Yeah.
Okay. Any regrets since you came to Ireland?
I miss home. One. And actually, if I said I've regretted, it's a lie.
Okay.
When I was about to come, and I remember I was having some conversations with some friends. In Ghana, we have this perception we are afraid to take a risk. You understand? Yeah, they will tell you, hey, you are going to spend this huge money to go for this school.
Yeah.
But when I spent the money, apart from the benefits of working and being able to even get back all the money I've spent, if I was in Ghana, you know that by now I would not be even be going for my BSc. But
Yeah.
currently, with my age, I'm now a PhD student. You
Yeah.
understand? And it's
Yeah.
all through self determination, reliance, and not giving up. It's very difficult. I'm telling you, it's very that sense of you coming and feeling that isolated because the community is not like how Ghana is that you can even just wake up in the morning and say, oh, I'm going to my friend's house without calling. But here, you need to place a call because the person might be in the workplace or the person might have returned from work and the person needs some rest. So initially, when you come, there will be that sense of anxiety because you've
Yeah.
not started work. You are depending on maybe like you if you are like me, you are depending on somebody. You
Yeah.
understand? So that sense of anxiety will set in. But
Yeah.
trust me, the moment you start working and the first money hits your account, you have this sense of relief and you start praising your God that, oh, it's a right decision. And if you are more of someone who is in love with academia, you see that you want to be going to school and then trying to.
Yeah.
Me, I know I've done a lot of shortcuts now. If I was in Ghana, maybe I'll be in my 50s or 60s before trying to think of going for a master's or a
Yeah.
PhD. But
PhD.
currently, yeah, by in a year or two, I'll be done. And now I will now focus on what I really, really wanted to do. You understand?
Well
So
done.
there's no regrets. I would say yes.
Well done. I wanted to ask you for advice, but I can see that you've already said everything,
Well, let
determination,
me add
and
something to it.
add
Some
something
people,
to it.
right? Yeah, because I would say with our setting back home, it's really, really difficult. I'm telling
Yes.
you, I was reluctant, but it's through a colleague, and this colleague was my junior back in school, like in nursing
Okay.
training. Yeah, she's called Najwa. She called me and said, Seidu, try. I know it's difficult. Talk to the family. If they believe in you, like if you have
Yeah.
properties, sell it. Like you see those things.
Yeah.
And I was saying, what is this girl telling me? But today, I've never regretted. Anytime I see her here, I always thank her for being that friend who motivated me. So I know if people start hearing this, they will say, oh, the money is huge. It's true, he's huge.
Yeah. It's huge.
But the benefit outweighs the loss. So
Yeah.
my little advice is, as they will say, perseverance.
Perseverance.
Perseverance is the key to everything.
Thank you so much, Seidu. Thank you so much. Viewers, I know that this video is actually going to help each and every one of you. Please remember to share this video with your friends, okay, back home. Also be the backbone of someone. Encourage a friend, okay, to also pursue their education in Ireland if they can't get through the recruitment process as well. Thank you so much, Seidu. Please remember to also like this video and also subscribe if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel. Also, remember to follow me on TikTok or Facebook and Instagram. There's Namumo one. If you wish to have any coaching, okay, let's say even with this process, you can equally check my YouTube channel, subscribe, and then just join my membership program, and I'll definitely give you all the coaching that you actually need. If you have any story, you live in Ireland, you have any story you want to share with me to encourage someone back home, if you're Filipino, if you're Nigerian, wherever country they're coming from, please reach out to me on nesnamomo1@gmail.com and I'll definitely respond to you. Thank you so much for always passing through. See you all soon on my next video. Bye.